Hey guys, Craig here. Today's video is going to be on B-roll hacks. I was out filming for yesterday's video and I decided that some of the stuff that I do would possibly be ideal for other people. Therefore, today's video we're going to go through B-roll hacks and hopefully you enjoy. Excuse the hair, but that is for another video, that topic. B-roll hack number 1. You have no stabilizer. Wow. Need to take it. Nothing better than a sip of that well-known brand that I'm not going to mention to quench that thirst. Anyway, on to today's video. Today's video is about B-roll. B-roll hacks, 5 of them, coming up, quick fire. Here we go. Tip number 1. You don't have a stabilizer, don't have a gimbal, that's fine. Every camera comes with it, every DSLR comes with one, and that is the strap. The strap is fantastic, gives you 3 points of contact, so you have it round your neck, take up the slack, pivot from your waist or from your shoulders. Don't move with your elbows because that will give you jittery footage, but it is a great budget stabilizer. Alright, so there's a bonus tip to this one. If you take it into the editing software of your choice, you then apply warp stabilizer to it, change it out of subspace warp because that gives that jello effect where it ripples and looks funky, and change your stabilization percentage from 50, where it sits at default, down to between 10 and 30%. There was a discussion on this in the No Small Creators group, and there was various people saying the same thing that I find with my footage, is that sweet spot is between 10 and 30%. Moving on to tip number 2. Try to keep a shallow depth of field. That means leaving the aperture at as low a number as possible. That means small a number. So 3.5, even lower, even better. You get that phased out background bokeh effect and it looks cinematic as hell. Oh so sweet, fantastic. If you're shooting outdoors and you want that same effect and you want to retain the aperture at those low numbers, invest in an ND filter. Budget ones are great. I have my own, which is a KF concept one. At the top end of these sort of budget ND filters, the variable ND filters, they tend to create an X across the image. Just try and not go that high, and if you do, you need to drop your aperture down a wee bit and then adjust accordingly. On to tip number 3. I cannot stress this one enough as it gives you the most editability, if that's a word, in the editing program of your choice for the final output of the film, and that is to shoot in as flat a profile as possible. You will thank me in the future when it comes to grading your footage. Which brings me on to tip number 4, the colour grade. Now that you have that flat, bland, but also good cinematic edit, punch it with a wee bit of contrast, punch it with the tiniest sprinkle of saturation, and then you move on to adding the pinnacle, the little bit of chocolate on top of that cappuccino, all of that sort of thing. The split tone. Now that can be cyan orange for the likes of your travel cinematics. They are used extensively to give that warm holiday feel, boosts the blues, increases the skin tones, gives that nice tanned look, or purple, yellow. These combinations are endless in complementary colours. It's always complementary colours that you're going to find doing that, unless you want to push a specific disjointed feel to your film, your vlog, whatever. A very good website that gives you hex codes for some complementary colour goodness mixes is www.sessions.edu/color calculator. The The link will be down in the description below for you to check out, use whenever you feel that you need a wee bit of inspiration to find that perfect colour match. Finally, tip number 5. Want that cinematic widescreen aspect ratio? No problem. There is links down in the description below for a Dropbox link for a PNG file that you just slap on top of a sequence that you've edited that's within your main sequence for quick, easy use. The one thing I will say about that is when it renders out, you sometimes get a wee bit of noise appearing in the blacks on that layer. Alternatively, if you want to edit it separately and then drop it into your main composition, create a sequence, change the pixels to, if you're shooting in 1080, 1920 by 803. That'll give you these perfect bars right here. So today that is the top 5 tips for cinematic B-roll hacks for the oh so tasty B-roll shots you see in so many YouTubers' videos these days. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, a like rating would be appreciated. A comment down below as to what you would like tips in next. I am by no means an expert overall, however I am running my own company in media, so take from that what you will. Put a comment down below if you want to see anything else, and I will attempt to give you as much good advice as possible. Until next time guys, keep it real, hunt the thrill, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.